Hello and welcome to the Comp 1000 instructional videos. This is video 28A. It covers the Excel Unit C project steps. There will be 3 videos for Excel Unit C project. The first is obviously 28A, the one we're going to do now, then 28B, then 28C. So let's talk about what we're going to cover in 28A. In 28A, we have roughly about 8 to 9 tasks that we're going to do here in our first of 3 videos for Excel Unit C project. We'll apply a theme to an Excel workbook. We are going to change the text font and text size. That's something we've done in previous videos, but we'll do that. We're going to merge and center a range of cells. We will add a border to a cell. We will change the fill color of a range of cells. We'll add a comment. That's something new that we haven't done before. We're going to apply a style to a cell or to a range of cells. And remember, a range is nothing more than a series of cells that touch in some sort of way. And then we're going to decrease the decimal places within a number. That'll make sense when we do it. And then lastly, we're going to change the number format in a cell or in a range of cells. Okay, so let's get started. You see that I have a spreadsheet up here that is a report on the customer survey for Buck's Soup House. So the first thing that we're going to do is to apply a theme to a workbook. And what a theme is it's a preset series of fonts and colors and borders and bolding that allows you to, instead of having to do all of those steps, to do the border, to do the bold, to do the color, to do the fill, to do the font, it allows you to, with one click, set all of those at one time. And it allows you to be consistent with that throughout throughout the document. So we're going to apply a theme to the workbook. Well, we see that we have 3 tabs across the bottom here, and let's remember that these tabs represent worksheets and that a workbook can have multiple worksheets. So we are going to, I'm just going to click here in the survey tab to open up the survey worksheet. And if I just wanted to do a theme here, I would do page layout. I click into page layout at the top. And then over here you have themes. So I click on the little more button there at the bottom, and I'm going to utilize the slice theme. So I click on slice, and it changes the way that my workbook looks. If I go back, just to show you how this thing works, if I go back and I click on Berlin, you see that the colors are different. If I click on Droplet, there's some minor changes there. So I'm going to click on slice. Okay. You will change the theme of a workbook in excuse me, please, step 1 of the Excel Unit C project. Next thing we want to do is we want to change the font and the font size of a cell. So I'm going to click in A2 here, and I want to change that to let's do Verdana. And we've done this before in Word, and we've also done it earlier in Excel. So I click on the Home tab, and here in the font group, there's my font type. I click the More button, and the first ones it shows are the ones that I've most recently used. I'm going to scroll all the way down and get Verdana right there. And I'm also going to change the size, and I will change the font size, and see it changed there in A2. I'm going to change the font size to 12. You will change the font and font size in step 2 of your Word Unit C project. Next thing I want to do is to merge and center a range of cells. What merge and center does, and I want you to look closely at the worksheet that we have up here. Notice that from A1 all the way over to H2, I'm sorry, from A1 to H1, there are none of those little vertical grid lines. It looks like it's one big box, and it is, because that range of cells from A1 to H1 has already been merged. See how they're all merged into one cell, and the text in there has been centered. Okay, well, we want to do that to A2 through H2. So I'm going to click on A2 and hold. I drag over to H2, and then again, notice these little vertical grid lines. When I click on merge and center, those vertical grid lines disappear because it's now one big cell and it's centered the text. You will merge and center text in step 3 of your Excel Unit C project. The next thing we want to do is we want to add a thick box border to a range of cells, and we want to change the fill color. We're doing this because we're going to do this to A20 through G20, and I'm sorry, through A20 through H20. And the reason we are is we want it to match what we have up here in this part, in the totals, in the total row of this particular data at the start of our document. So I'm going to add the box border. I click on A20 and hold. I drag over to H20, and borders are found in the font group of our ribbon. It's the Home tab, font group, and this little icon here is our borders. So I click on the More button, and the one we want to use is the thick box border right here. So I left click on it, and if I click away, I see that sure enough, A20 through H20 has this thick box border. Let me go back and reselect A20 through H20. So I click on A20, I drag over to H20 because I want to change the fill color to this same color that is in A10 through G10. So I go up here in the font group. Here's my fill icon. I click on the More button, and let's use standard yellow. You have your standard colors down here. I'm going to use standard yellow, and then I click away, and I see that indeed I've added a box border around a range of cells, and I have changed the fill color to match a total row in another part of our document. You will do that in step 4 of your Excel Unit C project. Then I want to do something that I do a lot of, and once you use a lot of spreadsheets, you're going to find that these can be very helpful, and those are comments. They're little behind-the-scenes notes that you can add to an individual cell or to a range of cells. Well, I want to add in H14 here, I want to add a comment behind this word average that explains to someone, how did I come up with that average? So what you do is you get your insertion point, your cursor, directly over H14, and you right click. You use the right mouse button by clicking it one time, I look up here and I see that I have a command there, insert comment, and when I click there, it is going to put some data in there already. In this case, it's putting my name. Yours may put your computer number if you're in the lab or something like that. We want to get rid of all of that data, so I'm click to the right of it and backspace over it, and I want to put in there an explanation of how I came up with this average. I'm going to put in here weighted average on a scale of 1 to 5, period. I would encourage you, as you're doing your projects, to make sure that you watch your capitalization, and that you also, if there's a period after a sentence or some text they want you to enter, make sure you put that period. Okay, so weighted average on a scale of 1 to 5, and then I just click away. You're like, uh-oh, it went away. No, it didn't. Notice that little red corner there. If I hover over that red corner, my note comes back. So it's hidden until I hover over it. Really good tool that you'll learn to utilize and appreciate. You will do that in step 5 of your Excel Unit C project. Then I want to add a cell style to another range. So I'm going to click on A1, and that selects A1 through H1 when I do that. And your cell styles are right here. They're in the styles group. You click on cell styles and they open up, and the one we want to use is 20% accent 1. So there's 20% accent 1. I click on it, and 20% accent 1 puts a blue shading and it changes the font. Again, it's a preset style there that allows you, or it keeps you from having to click on a lot of buttons and a lot of work to do what can be done in one simple click. And then if later in a document, if I wanted to use that same style, I don't have to remember now which blue was that and was it bold and which font was that. I just go to Cell Styles and I use that cell style. Okay. You will change the cell style in step 6 of your Excel Unit C project. And then let's bold that. Okay, and we've done bolding before. We just click in that range, that merged and centered A1 through H1, and we just click on bold. Yeah, that looks better. Step 7 in your Excel Unit C project talks about applying a number style, and you will apply number styles several times throughout Excel. To apply a number style, and let's do this to this range right here. Notice that in our thousands down here in B20 and G20, we have a number that needs to have the comma between the thousands and the hundreds. So I'm going to do this entire range from B15 all the way down to G20. Okay, how did I do that again? I clicked on B15, I held my left mouse button down when I clicked on it, and I drug all the way down to G20 and I released the left mouse button. The comma style can be found either in the number group, right there, you see the comma, or you could go over here to Cell Styles and go to comma. It does the same thing to either one. Well, with either one. Now, once I've done that, though, you see that it added all of these decimal places. Now, instead of having the number 8, I have 8.00, and instead of having 128 down here, I have 128.00. So I want to have the same number of decimal places down here that I do up here in my earlier work in the sheet. So I'm going to reselect that entire range again, B15 down to G20, and I'm going to decrease the number of decimal places. Well, we do that in the numbers group. Right here you have increased decimal places and decreased decimal places. Well, I need to decrease it 2 times, so I'm going to click once, see where I only have 1 decimal place now down here, and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on it again, and I've decreased my decimal places down to 0. You will add the comma number style, and you will change your number of decimal places in step 7 of your Excel Unit C project. Something else I noticed is that down here I have this long description of the date that the survey started and that the survey ended. I want to add something called, or I'm going to adjust this to something called the short number date. So I'm going to select C22 and drag down and get C23 and release. And then before I do that, in fact, let me back up. Let me click away from it here. I'm just going to randomly click here in this empty cell G22. And I want you to notice up here in the number group that what does it say? General. Okay, there's nothing in there, so it's just the software is designating that as a general format for a box. But when I click on C22 and hold and drag down to C23 and release, notice that what it did, it changed it. It says, I know, the software is saying this to you, I know that this is a date. So it gives you some options. By changing the date, I click on this more button and look at all the different options I have. Well, I want to do short date. So I click on short date and then click away, and notice how it changes to a different format for the date. You will change the date format in step 8 of your Excel Unit C project. And the last thing that we're going to do in this video, video 28A, is we're going to apply the percent format to a cell. Well, down here in, let me click on it, C24, it's got 0.61. Well, that actually is equal to 61%. I would think I would rather have the percent sign there. So I click on that. I go up here, okay, and in the number group, I see the percentage. Now, if it would have added decimal places, you would have gone right back up here to the number group and reduced your decimal places. In our case, it didn't add any decimal places, so we're good to go. That completes the first, and you will do percent number format in step 9 of your Excel Unit C project. That completes the first 9 of 21 steps. We will pick up with step 10 in our next video, which is video number 28B. Thank you for your attention.